Very good morning, all of you. Welcome back to EduHunt Biology program. Today we are going to discuss about the process of digestion in alimentary canal. Here, digestion means complex food particles like carbohydrates, proteins, fats. These are the complex food materials in our body. These complex food materials break down into monosaccharides like glucose and proteins into amino acids or amino acids. Fats becomes fatty acids plus glycerol. Finally, the DNA, RNA becomes sugars plus phosphates. This is the process of digestion in alimentary canal. See, here these are complex food materials. These are converted into simple food materials like glucose, amino acids, fatty acids and glycerol. This process is known as digestion. In this digestion, it is divided into two types. One is mechanical digestion. And the second one is chemical digestion. Mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. So the mechanical digestion initiated in the oral cavity. Cutting of the food particles or tearing of the food particles or grinding and the chewing of the food particles are taken by the teeth. Here the palate, the floor, the roof of the oral cavity, it holds the food particles, prevents the falling. And the next one is the jaws. These jaws, tongue, all these are helps to masticate the food particles. Here the total process occurs in the oral cavity. Now in our body we have several digestive glands: salivary glands, gastric glands and intestinal glands, accessory glands, pancreas, liver. All these are releases some chemical substances into the alimentary canal for the conversion of complex materials into simple materials. See, that is the process of digestion takes place with the help of the chemical interaction. That is chemical digestion. See, this is mechanical digestion and the second one is chemical digestion. Mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. Mechanical digestion in the oral cavity. Chemical digestion with the help of the chemical substances in the alimentary canal. This is the process of digestion here. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the process of digestion in different parts in the alimentary canal. See, the digestion in alimentary canal, first one, the process of digestion. Before that you have to learn important points are here. See, In this, some technical terminology are present. See, the entry of the food inside the oral cavity. This process is known as ingestion. Ingestion. Ingestion means entry the food into the oral cavity is known as ingestion. After entry of the food into the oral cavity with the help of the teeth and the jaws, the food particles are masticated. This is the process is known as mastication. Mastication with the help of the teeth and jaws, that is mastication. After mastication, we swallow the food particles from the oral cavity into the pharynx. This is the process is known as swallowing or deglutition. Swallowing or the deglutition process. Later, the food moves from one place to another place in the stomach, small intestine, large intestine. The food particles are digested. That is the digestion process, chemical digestion. So, after digestion process, the digested material will move into the blood. Undigested materials and unwanted materials eliminated through the anus. This process is known as defecation. Defecation. See here, the feces releases, feces or the feces or the stool releases outside or exterior through the anus. The color of the feces is yellowish color because of the stercobilin. Due to the presence of the stercobilin, it gives the color yellowish to the fecus. Here, foul smell or foul odor of the fecus due to the presence of the indole or scatole. Indole or the scatole gives the foul odor or the bad smell to the fecus. This is the common points. Entry of the food particles inside the oral cavity, ingestion, turning the food materials or the crushing the food particles or mastication, entry of the food from the oral cavity to the pharynx, swallowing or the deglutition, conversion of the complex materials to simple ones, digestion, unwanted materials, undigested materials eliminated through the anus, defecation process. These are the important digestion in oral cavity or buccal cavity. Oral cavity or the buccal cavity. Digestion in oral cavity or the buccal cavity. See, after entry of the food particles means after ingestion, the food particles are masticated and grinding by teeth and tongue and palate and the jaws. Here, the food particles are hydrolyzed. The food particles are hydrolyzed by the water because 99.5% of the saliva contains water. The remaining 0.5% of the saliva is mucus and a small amount of lysozyme and salivary amylase, electrolytes like sodium, potassium and chlorides and bicarbonate ions. So first one of this process here, when the food enters into the oral cavity, here only one enzyme is present in the saliva, that is salivary amylase, nothing but alpha amylase or ptyalin. This ptyalin enzyme converts, Tylen enzyme converts starch. Tylen enzyme converts starch into dextrin and maltose. Dextrin and maltose. Tylen or salivary amylase or alpha amylase converts starch into dextrin and maltose disaccharides. So, what are the simple substances of the carbohydrates? Nothing but starch, glucose. But in this oral cavity, the starch converted into dextrin and maltose only. So, it is known as partially digested materials. Partially digested materials. The partially digested materials formed in the oral cavity by the action of the Tylen. These materials are combined together with the saliva. Here, a soft slurry mass is prepared in the oral cavity. This is the soft slurry mass is known as bolus. Bolus with 6.8 pH. 6.8 pH. See, here in the oral cavity, nearly 30% of the starch hydrolyzed by the action of the Tylen or the salivary amylase. See, the salivary amylase, with the help of the salivary amylase or the Tylen, the starch nearly 30% is hydrolyzed. And here, along with this one, the electrolytes like sodium, potassium, chloride and bicarbonate ions also secreted along with the saliva. So the bicarbonate ions are very important in this, the action of the hydrochloric acid. Later we will discuss about the bicarbonate ions. This is the end products of the digestion in the oral cavity. The end products of the digestion in the oral cavity, dextrin and maltose. Why the proteins are not digested in the oral cavity? First one, because of the pH levels, and the second one, no proteolytic enzymes or the fatty enzymes in the oral cavity. Due to the absence of the proteolytic enzymes, proteins cannot digested in the oral cavity. First point. Due to the absence of the fatty enzymes, fats never digested. But small amount of the digestion takes place in the fats. Majority of the fats are not digested in the oral cavity. Now, the food or the bolus in the oral cavity, it moves from the oral cavity to the pharynx. Common passage. Pharynx to the esophagus. Yesterday, we discussed some point regarding to this one. Here, the walls of the esophagus and the pharynx has no serosal layer, but it contains outer longitudinal muscles and inner circular muscles. See, the bolus moves from the pharynx into the esophagus. It is a narrow tubular part of the alimentary canal. The proximal part, some of the middle part of the esophagus, it is made up of the skeletal muscles. Whereas the posterior part of the esophagus, it is made up of smooth muscles. The walls of the esophagus is made up of outer longitudinal muscles and inner circular muscles. Outer longitudinal muscles and inner circular muscles. When the bolus moves from the pharynx into the esophagus, at first of this process, contraction of the circular muscles and contraction of the longitudinal muscles. These two muscles shows contracts. So this contraction is releases the wavy like movements of the muscles, that is peristaltic movements. With the help of the peristaltic movements, the food moves one place to another place easily. Here, the walls of the esophagus that contains mucus. The mucus helps to lubricate the food particles. So, mucus and the peristaltic movements helps to move the food from one place to another place easily. See, finally, through the cardia, this bolus enters into the stomach. When the food it will enter into the stomach, the walls of the stomach it secretes the gastric juice. The gastric juice combines with the bolus. Now we are going to discuss about the process of digestion in the stomach. Digestion in stomach. These are the process. After bolus entry into the stomach, the gastric juice surrounds with the food particles. The gastric juice contains hydrochloric acid, and the second one is pepsinogen and prorenin. Caseous intrinsic factor, and gastrin secreted by G cells of the in the stomach. Now, first one. Before in oral cavity, I said hide bicarbonate ions, the electrolytes in the saliva. Electrolytes in the saliva are sodium, potassium, chlorides, bicarbonate ions. The bicarbonate ions it enters along with the food particles. So these bicarbonates and the mucus which is present in the alimentary canal, these two protects the walls of the gastric mucosa by excoriation process by the secretion of the hydrochloric acid. So the bicarbonate ions and the mucus protects the gastric mucosa and the intestinal mucosa against the excoriation by the secretion of the hydrochloric acid. So the walls of the stomach and the intestine protected by bicarbonate ions and mucus against the hydrochloric acid secretion. See this, at first of these process, see, it is a prefix of the pepsinogen, ends with gen, and this is the these two are inactive enzymes. Pepsinogen is inactive enzyme, prorenin is proenzyme. These are inactive enzymes. Inactive enzymes means it has function, but directly these are not involved to conversion of the complex materials into simple materials, or directly not involved in the process of digestion. At first of this process, these two inactive enzymes will convert it into active forms. See, Nana? Hydrochloric acid function. This hydrochloric acid, it kills harmful bacteria, harmful microorganisms, harmful microorganisms killed by hydrochloric acid. This is the primary function of the hydrochloric acid. Not only this one, this hydrochloric acid, it also converts inactive pepsinogen into active pepsin. So pepsin become activated by the action of the hydrochloric acid, At the same time, one more proenzyme is prorenin. This prorenin is activated by the hydrochloric acid also. Sometimes pepsin also converts this prorenin into renin also. So pepsinogen and prorenin, these two activated by the action of the hydrochloric acid into pepsin and renin. So later pepsin and renin, these two activated. What up next? After activation of the pepsin and renin, the functions of the pepsin and renin here we have to discuss. See, pepsin, it is a proteolytic enzyme. Proteolytic enzyme. Proteo means proteins. Lytic means division. It divides the proteins. So pepsin is called proteolytic enzyme that divides proteins into proteases and peptones. Proteases and peptones. Pepsin converts proteins into proteases and peptones. See, proteins, complex forms, simple forms of the proteins are amino acids. But at the end of the digestion in the stomach, the proteins converted into proteases, peptones only. Means this is also not, it is incomplete digested materials or partially digested materials. This hydrochloric acid not only kills the harmful bacteria but also converts the pepsin and renin active forms. And here this hydrochloric acid creates highly acidic medium to the food particles. Means it gives 0.9 to 1.8 pH highly acidic food materials. Those are proteases and peptones. So this is also known as incomplete or partially digested materials in the stomach with acidic nature. It is known as chyme. It is known as chyme. So chyme, partially digested food with acidic medium, is known as chyme. Now what about the renin? See, renin in infants, this is the main food particles for the main enzyme for the infants. In infants, when the milk passes from the esophagus to the stomach, the liquidity milk due to the presence of the mucus, immediately this milk travels through the stomach into the intestine. If it happens, there is no food particles into the stomach. So the persons or the infants suffers with the protein deficiency. It causes so many disorders. But due to the presence of the renin, this renin enzyme, it converts milk protein. It is known as casein. Milk protein is casein. This milk protein, casein, converted into para-casein by renin. At the same time, this para-casein by the renin, this para-casein in the presence of the calcium ions, this para-casein is converted into calcium para-caseinate. Now these are the milk liquidity forms become the solid, semi-solid particles. See here, calcium ions are involved for the conversion of the para-casein to calcium para-caseinate. Whereas in oral cavity, starch converted into dextrin and maltose by the ptyalin. Here chloride ions are required. So chloride ions are participated for the conversion of the starch into dextrin and maltose. Calcium ions are participated here for the conversion of the para-casein to calcium para-caseinate. These are the end products of the for the milk protein to the milk protein and the proteins. Now we are going to discuss about the remaining. Caseol's intrinsic factor. This Caseol's intrinsic factor, it synthesizes vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 scientific name, it is cyanocobalamin vitamin. Cyanocobalamin vitamin. Due to the deficiency of the vitamin B12, it causes pernicious anemia disease. That is vitamin B12. Now gastrin, this is hormonal action. The gastrin hormone is secreted by the G cells of the alimentary in the stomach. The gastrin, it stimulates for the production of the hydrochloric acid. So the gastrin stimulates the mucous cells, serous cells. Mucous cells, serous cells. Activated mucous cells, serous cells secretes mucus. Not only this function, this gastrin also stimulates the production of the hydrochloric acid into the stomach. These are the functions of the and the process of digestion in the stomach.